What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Cooking with Calvin. Today, I would like to share with you guys a brisket. I got a small brisket. It only weighs about 8 or 9 pounds, maybe. I'm gonna trim it up, and I'm gonna try to cook this on my offset smoker. I know it's gonna be a lot of work just for this little brisket, but I need to practice in cooking on an offset smoker. But let me tell you guys, it is a lot of work cooking on an offset smoker because you have to constantly regulate the temperature and your wood and your fire. And it's just a lot of work and a lot of patience. But I can tell right now that I'm going to get me a pellet grill for these types of smokes. But anyhow, I'm just going to trim the fat off of this brisket and season it up. I'm going to use mustard as a binder. I have salt, pepper, and garlic that I'm going to use to season it. And we're going to put this on a smoker and see how it comes out. Now, one thing that I do know, when you're trimming up a full brisket, 10, 12 pounds, 14 pounds, you want to leave a 1/4 inch of fat on that fat cap side. You do want to leave some fat on your brisket so your meat retains the juice. The natural juices of the brisket, because you don't want it dry. Now, as I said, I used a small amount of mustard on both sides of the brisket, rubbed it in, and this is just to get the seasoning to stick to the meat, to adhere to the meat. You can also use just Worcestershire sauce. Some people use olive oil. Some people don't use nothing. I thought I'd try it like this way, because I know that the way to learn how to cook certain things, you just have to do it, and you learn from experience. Now, with my seasoning, I made my own SPG, salt, pepper, and garlic, and just put it in a little cup, stirred it up myself, and began to season my brisket flat side first, all the way back to the point on both sides, and also on all four sides, the thin sides and the fat sides. Now, whatever seasoning you use to season your brisket with, just make sure that it has a decent amount of pepper in it. Salt and pepper, but the pepper is what gives you your bark on beef brisket and beef ribs. I also cook the beef rib, but I'm not going to pay no attention to my beef rib because I already have a beef rib video, so I'm not really going to show y'all that. But just make sure you have enough pepper in your seasoning to so you can get a good bark on it. Now, while I was seasoning my meat, I had my offset smoker going already so I can burn some of that bad smoke off until my smoker starts smoking clean. I have charcoal at the bottom of the smoke box, and I also have hickory wood. Like I said though, it's a lot of work cooking on these offset smokers. I love how it tastes, but the work and the time that you put into it, especially when you're smoking a long smoke like a brisket, it's just a lot. So for me, I know I'm going with a pellet grill, and I'll show y'all some videos when I get the pellet grill. But anyway, this brisket cook, I started it about 3 o'clock in the evening, and I wasn't finished till 6 o'clock the next morning. You know, it takes a long time for brisket, and you never know how long it's going to take depending on how your smoker is smoking. And my smoker was smoking very slow, so I had to keep regulating the wood, keep putting charcoal and wood in there. And you don't want to raise the top up a lot. You know, you want to keep your temperature at about 225 to 250. It may fluctuate a little bit. Try to keep it consistent in that area right there, and try to have as much clear smoke as possible. So before you put your next piece of wood on, you might want to sit your next piece on the smoke box so it can get hot and you won't produce so much white smoke. You see, my daughter came out here and put some hot dogs on because we was hungry. You know, we was cooking this brisket and smoking it all day and night. So we put some beef hot dogs on so we could eat something while we did it. Now, right here, this brisket had been smoking at about 8 or 9 hours already. You know what I'm saying? You may not look at it, you may not know because I have a light out here, but it was dark. You know what I'm saying? And I was spritzing it with apple juice, and just to keep it moist while it was smoking and everything. And you will see at the end of this video, it came out pretty nice. It could have came out nicer had I taken it off earlier, but I ended up dozing off for an extra hour and left it on for an extra hour. So it still turned out really delicious. My daughter loved it. We loved it. But we did learn from this particular smoke as well. So the next brisket would be even better. Now here I took some beef talon that I had from the strippings from this brisket and another one that I had cooked down. And it's just beef fat. I poured it over top of the brisket. And I'm going to wrap this in butcher's paper. And I also wrapped it in some aluminum foil. And I let it go for another 3 hours. And also, let me add that I didn't wrap the brisket until I got it to 165 or 170 degrees. I temperature probed the internal temperature, and once I got to around 170 degrees, then I wrapped it and put it back on and let it smoke again. You want to get it to about 202 to 205 internal temperature, and then your brisket is done. So I temperature probed it. It was what, 10 hours into this smoke. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I temped it at about 205 207. A little bit, I wanted to take it off a little bit earlier, maybe an hour earlier, to retain more juice. But like I said, it was still really good. I'm going to cut it, and you will see a beautiful smoke ring on it. It's a little bit drier than I really wanted, but nevertheless, it was still really good. So as you can see, it's a very beautiful smoke ring around each piece. It was nice and tender and smoky and flavorful. It was delicious, but next time I will take it off about an hour earlier. And I'm going to take it off at about 195 to 200 instead of 205 or 203. But like I said, nevertheless, it was very, very good. I want to thank you guys for joining me with this cook right here. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And like I said, I always ask that you guys share the channel to at least one person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very proud and happy of the progress of the channel so far. I'm having fun doing this. It's turning out to be a real nice hobby. And I just want to build the page as best as I can and build it as big as I can. So thank you guys for coming out. And until next time, until the next smoke, until the next cook, cooking with Calvin.